This is a special presentation on the Action Sports Jax 24/7 network.
Welcome in, everybody, to another edition of No Gate Fees, presented by Nimnick Buick GMC, Baker Sports Republic Services, and Perfect Rack Billiards. We will have our Perfect Rack Billiards Coach of the Week. We will have Committed to the Uncommitted, presented by Nimnick Buick GMC, and we will have our Power Polls presented by everybody. And we are in the final week of the regular season in baseball, but on Weir's Home Show over the weekend, we unveil our overall poll, which includes public and private baseball. We will separate them into public and private baseball, and then we'll do an overall softball as well. That's coming up at the end of the show. Stay tuned for that. Second half hour, we will have Committed to the Uncommitted and our Coach of the Week. And also, we will hear from some of the coaches who are out at the Florida-Georgia Showdown Home Run Derby, which we had live on the Action Sports Jax 24/7 network this week, which was really cool. Fun. Go back and watch it on YouTube if you missed it. Had a little drama late. You'll see some of it. But we caught up with Tom Lucas from St. John's Country Day, Zach Osbeck from Bishop Snyder, and Mike Boswell, the legend from the Bowl School, about the playoff format, which we want to get into a little bit in baseball, and also just about the crazy district that Bowles and Snyder plays in, and about the event. I mean, as the season winds down, those are three of the premier teams in Northeast Florida, three of the premier teams in Georgia, by the way, North Oconee, Parkview, and North Gwinnett also in town this week to finish up the regular season as they all play each other. So a really cool event, and I think something that we'll see more of. And we said, let's jump on that and showcase it on the 24/7 network. It's just something we can do. We tried it. We did it. We had fun with it, and hopefully we can do it again. We'll show you some of that. Again, if you like high school baseball, you go back and nobody's giving you more high school baseball and hopefully softball too than anyone than right here on the Action Sports Jax 24/7 network. Brent Martineau, Jason Hamby, Noah Schlicksup, and Chandler Dantzler do Weir's Home Show each and every weekend. They'll have another edition coming up this Sunday at 6 o'clock. And then we've showed a baseball game this year between St. John's Country Day and Trinity, and now the Home Run Derby. So hopefully we continue to do that, have some fun with it. Baseball booming and the amateur ranks here in Jacksonville, but you know what? It always has been. So we like being right in the weeds of it. And Hamby, the weeds of it mean it's the final week of the regular season, which is crazy, but everything gets moved up a bit. It started a little earlier, or a week ahead of softball, and in part because of the playoff format that entered the last couple of years. Last year, it was a best of three in all rounds of the state tournament. So you got your districts, and then 8 teams qualified for the regionals in each classification in each region of the state, and that's where the best of threes happen. This is a format that Georgia does. Mm-hmm. And everybody's been like, why don't we do it in Florida like Georgia does it? Used to be the old Hunter Barco rule they tried to get rid of, where you just could throw your ace every single playoff game of the state tournament, which is actually how it happened for a bit. And Bowles took advantage of that, by the way. Now we get best of three. Well, we have an alteration to that this year because of all the travel involved and everything else. I think primarily quarterfinals is a single game. Once you get to the semifinals and the finals, that becomes best of three. So do you like it? You're coaching the Covenant Warriors. Do you think most people like it this way? Would they prefer it back last year's way of best of three throughout? And even then some, by the way, because the state Final Four is still the old format. I mean, it's just Final Four, semifinal game, championship game. But I think we're still not where Georgia is. But it's a variation of it, I guess. How do you feel about it?
Yeah, I think it definitely scares the best teams in regions, because anything can happen in one game, especially obviously in the game of baseball. When you get 2 out of 3 in all 3 phases of regionals, I think coaches can of the top teams, of those specifically the top 4 teams in a region, can kind of take a breath, knowing that, hey, if a fluke happens in game 1, we still got 2 more shots.
Yeah.
Right. So I think it's going to be totally different how you look at this depending on what kind of team you have. As a team that kind of is going to bank on trying to get an upset, I like the one game because, hey, we got to play 7 clean innings of baseball, and we could find ourselves in the semis. And it definitely changes year by year. I mean, last year we played 2 out of 3 in the first round of regionals against St. John's Country Day, and we got Braden Harris, got our tails kicked, and got our tails kicked the next day. At least we had 2 shots at it, because if it was just one game, hey, here's Braden Harris. All right, might as well just start packing up your things. In all reality, not that we'd ever tell the team that, but you know how it is. So this year, if we were to be the 8 seed again, which we have done everything in our power not to be the 8 seed, well, that's the situation we would face. It would be one game against Braden Harris and St. John's Country Day. Good luck. And we kind of know how that would pretty much go, barring a miracle. So now we'll probably be the 6 or 7 seed, and so we'll be facing a team that's not St. John's Country Day, looking to get them in one game, and then we'll see what happens after that. But no, yeah, I think it totally depends on whether you have the team that's first of all the pitching depth. Hey, if you got one ace, it might benefit you. You let them go for that one game, and hey, we don't need to worry about a game 2 starter or a game 3 starter because we can ride this guy right into the regional semis.
Absolutely, yeah. Listen, the other part of that is when you lost to St. John's Country Day, you're like, hey, hat tip, they're better, right? If you lose 2 games. So I think you're going to find out. I think a lot of people, some people just got on board with this. Some people were wishy-washy on it. I think ideally, and the calendar plays a big role in this, and the FHSAA, I understand they've got a lot going on. They've got to worry about it. I don't think we should be crowning champs based on a calendar. I think that's how we do it.
Yeah.
Again, baseball is a very important sport in this state. It should be crowned like a very important sport in this state, not just based on a schedule of events and how you get to Fort Myers and how you squeeze all different classifications in. There've got to be more answers than that. So hopefully we get to that someday. But I also think that's hard, easier said than done for me sitting in my seat. So although I can be critical of the FHSAA, I don't think that's necessarily an easy thing to accomplish. But I think best of 3 throughout would be ideal. And quite frankly, especially when you get to the state Final Four. I mean, if you made it all the way to the state Final Four now.
That's the brutal one.
And now you're like, okay, you get 2 ops. Really get 1 op.
1 op.
Right? And then what do you have left in the championship game? So I think we're still figuring it out. They're still figuring it out. Will we ever figure it out? Who knows? But I'd like to think there is a way to do it. And I'll go one more here. I've always said this, and I'll probably repeat it at some point. When the state, I think in the sport of baseball, you can do this, and not every sport you can do this. But they should have a tournament of champions almost to identify the real state champ.
Yeah.
I would go one more week if you could. Mm-hmm. And again, very tricky on the calendar. Get it. I would go one more week in a perfect world and put the 8 classification or 7 class, or throw the rural and also 8, do an 8-team bracket.
Yeah.
Like they do in like Cary, North Carolina in the middle of the season for the national one showcase. And it can be a 1-game elimination in that regard.
Sure.
But to find the overall state champ, I think would be pretty cool in baseball because you don't have, it's not like a 7A and a 1A can't play against each other in baseball. Like that can happen. And no problem. And sometimes the 1A might win, quite frankly. Anyway, that's the latest on that. Well, it's not the only thing on that. We'll talk more about it on no gate fees because I asked the coaches how they feel about it. So you get some of the premier coaches in the game and people have been around this thing for a long time and had a lot of success, how they feel about it. And one of them I think is interesting is Coach Boz because he obviously won state championships and got to state Final Fours on the back of a guy like Hunter Barco in the old way. So we'll have his thoughts on it. And by the way, Boz and Bowles playing really well. And some people think one of his best coaching jobs that he's done over there at the Bowles School, and he's done a lot of them over the years. All right, there's a conversation on the table that I wanted to get to for a bit here, and it's really got to do with pitchers. And so selfishly, this starts probably from like I watch this all the time with my kid. She's a pitcher in softball, but it got me thinking, I mean, this has been ongoing for a long time, but now I see pitchers all over the place, and I just have a different respect for pitchers than I did, say, 6-7 years ago, because I wasn't one overall. I mean, sure, we all pitched in Little League, but I wasn't a pitcher. And I just feel like now I've got this different respect. You were a pitcher. two-way guy, then turned into a pitcher. And I think baseball pitchers and softball pitchers, quite frankly, I think even that is different. But I want to hit on a couple of things. One is this: I think the psychology, if you're a pitcher, a coach, a parent, around the pitcher position is as unique as it gets. I don't think it's like the other positions. There are hard positions to play, from catcher to shortstop. Hitting is hard in general. So the psychology of baseball and softball in general is difficult, the ups and downs of it. But the pitcher one, to me, is so unique. And we'll get to throwing strikes a little bit, specifically on the baseball side, and how that impacts coaching. Where does that drive you nuts? Where is it okay in terms of, okay, but I'm going to get some strikeouts too? So I want to get to that. But first, the psychology of it, just to touch on this topic. And I do think there's a major difference in baseball and softball. And I almost have more respect. Again, this may be a little bit biased, but it's not just about my kid. Like, I've watched a lot of young ladies around here do this in high school, but also doing this in college. Especially in high school, if you're playing 3 times a week, that pitcher might pitch every single game. You go to the Grace Jones and the Sophia Kardasky's, and you name it. Go out to Baker County, Middleburg. Your ace is pitching a lot of the games, especially if you have a good schedule. And so I have so much respect for that, because it's different than baseball, where baseball you're probably going once a week. Now, there's a different thing about that. If you have a bad outing and you only last an inning or 2 innings, you got to wait a whole nother week to come back and do it. But the stress of being a high school kid and just whatever happens, testing, boyfriend, girlfriend, parents, teachers, whatever, put you in a mood in that day. I always think in softball, I just have so much respect for being able to go out there at night, get in that circle, and deliver for your team. Like that, there's a lot on you. And again, we live that a little bit, so I got a little bit more attention on it. But I also notice that all around, and I have no idea what's going on in people's lives around the area when they step into that. And you can certainly equate this to college, too. I mean, so the big-time colleges, even getting paid $1 million at Texas Tech, it's all on the shoulders of that pitcher now at the biggest of levels to deliver. So that's not different, though, in baseball as well. I mean, you talk about a Harris, and he just had a situation last week, which, again, I think is where I have a lot of respect. The whole situation with checking the glove and the baseball, and very unique thing that happened last week. We're not going to really talk about it too much, but you can go back and look at Twitter. It became a big topic. But I just saw Braden the other day, and I said, hey, man, I thought you handled it really well, because I think you cannot handle it well. It can fluster you, and then we note that. Well, he bulldogged up in a lot of different spots despite all that going on. He handled the coming off the field of that really well. And I think that should be a feather in his cap. And I've told Tom Lucas that. I've told other people who have argued, like, oh, this might hurt him. Oh, heck no. Turn that into a positive. He's going to get worse at FSU. He might get more in the minor leagues someday. This should be actually how he handled that situation, to me, is a major plus on his side, along with the plus stuff that he's got, and just being an excellent pitcher and one of the best in the area. So I think there are all these situations, Hamby, and you probably had to live through some of those too yourself when you were playing, that it's just so different for the pitcher. Again, baseball, softball, unique in their own right.
Yeah, I think I'll go to the you talk about the ace of the staff. There's a ton of pressure on that guy. There's also a ton of pressure on some of the guys on the back end of the rotation, because one bad outing in baseball at the beginning can honestly tank your season.
Yeah, it can. Trust, right?
Yeah, because, look, if you're put in a high-leverage spot of any kind in the first week or two and you don't perform, you don't throw the ball over the dish, it's one thing if you get hit. But if you don't throw the ball over the dish in your first outing of the year, you might not get the ball for a month.
True.
Like, depending on how deep your team is, you could be the team's 4. You throw the ball over the dish, we'll see in a month. And that's just the way that it is. I mean, again, with teams that have depth, and I mean, I went through that my junior year, and it just took forever to get back the confidence. And just wanting to prove so bad of you should have pitched me this whole time.
Yeah.
You know, I think that's human nature. That's
Absolutely.
you know, one bad outing shouldn't tank anything. But now, from the coach's perspective, on the flip side, you got guys. I mean, if you can't throw the ball over the dish, and we'll get to the throwing strikes things later, like those things, your first outing of the season, I think, is so important. And obviously, if you have guys for a long time, and the guy's a senior, and he's thrown for you 30 times. He's built up so much equity where you're going to throw him right out there.
Yeah.
It's not the same for everybody else.
Yeah, I think that's a great point, man. And I say this a lot, and I threw this in the middle of the season. Listen, I mean, I sit here and second guess and just evaluate, and what would you do if you were the coach? I think it's a real tricky thing, but I think it's a thing. What you just said, if you don't go out there for 3 weeks as a pitcher, for whatever reason, rain in the forecast, missed your start, had a bad start, so coach lost a little trust in you. And then all of a sudden you got to go out there, and usually when the next time you go out there, it's in a pretty big spot because he ran out of options.
Right.
Or ran out of arms. Well, how much expectation can you have for that young person, or doesn't have to be a young person, for that pitcher? They haven't been out there in 3 weeks.
Yeah, my junior year, my first outing was so bad. And then the next time I pitched was the first week of March. It was a month in our tournament at Perfect Game in Atlanta. And my first batter I faced was C.J. Abrams, Blessed Trinity. And I got him out, thankfully. But I was 3.5 weeks between pitching in a real game. You
got to really grind the bullpens
and
the practice sessions and make that as real life as possible. But that's also hard as a 17-year-old, 16-year-old to be able to learn how to do that and know I'm being the psyche of doing that, not be disappointed, not to be or playing. And I think this is also hard on the coaches because you're trying to win every game. Why not, right? But do you have a long view of, I'm going to need this kid, boy, girl, whatever, and woman, depending on the age, and I'm going to need them if we're going to go where we want to go.
Right.
And so how do you make sure they're getting their work in, even if it might result in a stressful moment right now, to pay off later on? I think the best coaches can do that. I think it's way easier said than done, man. And I'm like, I want to win that game right here. I know on the outside of the fence, I want to win those games right now. Just get me there right now. And in high school baseball, or a lot of times in college baseball, this is good competition. You don't have the moments to just say, oh, let's go get him some work. Let's go get him. And maybe that's why you got to build your schedule that way too, like once every couple of weeks. So you have a game where you can get some other folks in there to get maybe the most important pitchers rest, but also some other guys some work to see what you've got. In the baseball season in high school and the softball season in high school is pretty short to do that. So you don't want to give up too much ground and just lose a game because of it. But the best coaches are able to do it. I just think it's really hard to do. But the flip side of that is that's a really hard thing to parent. It's a really hard thing for the kid. How do you stay in the moment, stay locked in, stay ready to go, and then when your number's called? Because that next time your number's called, it's the most important outing you're going to make. Because you either get to earn the trust back of the coach or you're in the tank.
Yep.
And I do think that's a really, really hard thing to do. So, I mean, that's my point of this conversation. It can be the ace. It can be the back end person. It can be someone out of the bullpen. It can be that everyday softball pitcher. It can be that, hey, we need this softball pitcher who's our third pitcher to extend some innings if we're really going to be as good as we think we're going to be. I think there's a whole variation here. And whatever your kid is from a parental standpoint, probably seething at some of it anyway, whether it's, especially if it's not good or not playing, that's a difficult thing. To say the right things, do the right things, keep everybody confident. But I really think the coach and the player relationship is really the most important. And what's that honesty look like? What's that communication look like? And how do you nurture that? And again, easier said than done, especially in real time, in my opinion. But I just think it's fascinating. And I've just never watched pitching so closely. I'll give you I say this, actually, my father-in-law asked me last night about just some of the players like Ty had played with at Creekside, and I brought up Colby Frieda's name. Colby Frieda is a guy that our Ty's freshman year, he was a senior. I still say this. He is the best pitcher I've ever seen up close, day in, day out. And I mean, I don't know, how many starts do you make in a high school season, right? 8, 9, whatever it is. And I played college baseball. I mean, I played college baseball with guys that were good. I played high school baseball with guys that are good, played summer ball with guys that are good. We've seen a lot of good talent around here. I'm just saying, it's not the best pitcher I've ever seen in person. It's just from a day in, day out, we watched every game. Right. Watched how he operated. And I always say that dude was unflappable, and he brought it every single time by that senior year. And, like, that team couldn't hit very well, so you knew if someone else scored 3 runs,
that was it.
That game was over. It was basically like that. And he delivered every time. He didn't win every game, but he delivered every time. Creekside was really good. And that year ran into Fleming Island 3 times and lost to him. Cody Carlisle was the pitcher that side. He went to Georgia Tech. He also was fantastic. So that was a great pitching year in the area, whatever year that would have been, 2021, I guess. So I just have so much respect. Like, that's where it started to kind of gain respect for me, as like, dang, man, this dude's got to go every single time. You didn't know if someone had made an error behind him. You didn't know if he had just struck out 12. Like, he was the same every time. And again, I give, like, most recently, I don't know Braden Harris very well, but from St. John's Country Day, but that's what's on the shoulders of some of these kids. Like, right. I bring up Barco, and everybody's like, oh, yeah, Barco is easy. Like, well, that's not easy to be in his position either. Yeah. I mean, everybody's expecting you to just strike out 14 and give up nothing. Right. So I don't think that's necessarily an easy spot, but then there's all different layers of this as well. So always fascinating to me. Now, real quick to touch on this, and we know this, balls and strikes. And I said this to somebody recently. I feel like, first of all, I'm a strike thrower guy, okay? Give me strikes all day. Hitting is hard. Even if you put it on a tee, you're getting a guy out 6 out of 10 times. Like 6 out of 10 on a tee, probably you're getting him out. Now, in real life, if you throw it over the middle of the plate and just throw some BP, you're probably getting him out 7 out of 10. Maybe more in high school with some of the fields that everybody's swinging for home runs. Just throw strike. Like, big believer in strikes. And I think we all know this. High school baseball is all about strikes. But I really think in high school baseball, because we know that, I see more strike throwers in high school baseball than I do in college now. Ooh. Because college guys are all about trying to light it up, trying to get to 96, 97, try to get that next level. While I understand it, I really don't get it. Like, I understand it, but I don't get it.
Well, I understand it. I'll tell you why. So first of all, yeah, in high school, we have our motto is TSWW. They swing, we win. There you go. And good. Obviously that doesn't work all the time because we've faced some good hitting groups. But, especially against teams that, are even with us, if you don't walk anybody, you win the game.
Yeah.
So
I know Creekside did like a whiteboard of free bases.
Yeah.
I don't know if they still do, but same kind of thought.
So that's our thing. If they swing, we think we're going to win the game. So that's what we teach, and we've obviously done better some games than others, but that's philosophy. Throw the ball over the dish, and let's go. College, those guys are about afraid to throw it over the dish because everything they throw up there is hit 500 feet.
Yeah,
with those bats and everything like that. Like, I get it. Like, you're gonna nibble more once you see if you're the third guy out in a college game and you've seen 5 homers. We're going to walk a couple guys. Yeah. Because you're going to try to nibble and try to be perfect because you don't want to be that next highlight of a guy putting it on the roof.
I get it. I think
that's subconscious.
I'd rather still give a solo homer up.
I 100% would too.
Like, and take my chances.
I would too.
Like, I mean, guy's got to hit 6, 7 home runs.
But there's a point where it almost seems that it's an inevitable barrel that you're going to give up if you throw a heater in the zone that's not right on the black.
I agree with that to some degree, okay? But I also think the reason why that's happening a lot is because they're behind in counts. They're 2-0, 1-0, 3-1. Then it's easier to hit.
Yeah.
I mean, the bottom line is I get it. We don't have the depth of pitching in college baseball to be able to just throw 3 pitches and command it. Fully get it. But look what Aiden King's doing. Aiden King at Florida, he doesn't have, like, people would say he doesn't have special stuff. I think they're pretty damn good stuff, but I saw somebody say he doesn't have special stuff. Well, special stuff now is like 97, 98, all that's – he's got a hell of a slider. He commands it. He does it with confidence. He pounds the zone. He gets ahead. He hits spots. To me, that I want that guy on my mound all the time. Rather than, quite frankly, Liam Peterson, if you look at Florida, who's 5-6 walks a game, 2-0, 3-1. I call them 3-2 guys. Every count is 3-2.
Oh, it's so brutal.
It's
to
like
watch.
awful. It's awful.
You could read a book in the outfield.
And that's the other thing. Your defense falls asleep. Like, all that. And again, this is more of a high school show, so specific to high school. And I think most coaches would agree with this. Just give me the strike thrower, man.
Oh my God.
I don't care if you're throwing 78, in high school. Now, again, within reason.
But
at the
that's the
collegiate level.
thing, Brent. That
the other thing about college level is there are levels of this. We're not talking everybody's in the SEC.
Right.
All right. So, I mean, you still you throw strikes in Division II baseball, you're going to probably have some success. Not everybody's hitting bombs every swing.
Right. The problem is every coach says they want the strike thrower, but not every coach recruits the strike thrower.
Well, that is no doubt, because they like the different stuff, and they think it's almost like a quarterback coach who, if you've got talent, I can make this guy good. And if you've got a guy that can really chuck it, because that's unusual, you say, I'll take my chances, I can make that good. I get that.
I get it.
I get that.
Yeah.
But I just wonder, and I don't know the answer to this, to your point on your acronym there, and what I said about free bases, I wonder, coach-wise, like, what's the tolerance level? What can I put up with because I'm going to get this? The reward of getting a strikeout versus, okay, this thing might get hit, and we might have a day where you just can't get a guy out with this pitcher, but we know he's going to be around the plate. And we don't have to worry about the headache of throw a strike or the defense falling asleep and therefore 2 or 3 more errors. Like, I just know, watching a lot of ball over the years now, give me that dude. Give me that guy. I'll take my chance. I'd rather give up 8 runs on doubles and homers than a 3-run homer because 2 guys got walked. 100%. And every count's 3-2. I would. And again, you start from this. This is where pitching really should be easy. I go out there and I know the law of averages says I'm going to get 6 or 7 of you out even if I throw it down the middle.
Yeah.
like use that to your advantage. Mm-hmm. Like, you start from a pretty good place as a pitcher until you make it a mess, And again, every situation is different. Talent level is different, all those things. But I'm telling you, go look at big innings, walks. Go look at big moments late in games, leadoff walk. Most of the time they're because of that. Throw strikes. And especially in high school, right? I mean, you just find me a strike thrower and I'll put them in. And unless they're just BP,
send them to me.
They probably got to have another pitch or 2, by the way, too.
Yeah, it can't be all heaters.
Yeah, well, that's the other thing.
If you could throw 2 pitches for strikes in high school, you'll get almost every team out. If you got 3, it's GG's.
Yeah, one last thing about this: you go watch like a game at UNF or in the A-Sun, JU, whatever. I mean, a lot of these guys are pitching 88 to 92.
They're 2-pitch pitchers most of the time.
Well, but they don't throw fastballs. To your point,
on that 3rd pitch,
because they know those guys are going to hit 90. I mean, these guys have been seeing 90 since they were like 14 years old.
Right.
They can hit 90. It's not like blow it by you 98. That's different.
Yeah.
So the fastball doesn't even get used in college baseball quite a bit because of that. Now you get 90 at the high school level, and that's still popping some bits.
Yeah.
Right. But anyway, it's hey, the whole pitcher thing, got a lot of respect for you. Got a lot of respect for moms and dads who have pitchers, coaches, how you handle that. It's tough. Not everything's the same. There's no blueprint for it, right? So you have to have a really good feel and a longer view, I think. And for the pitchers, baseball, softball, hats off to you, because I think it's about as unique as you get. It'd be really cool if you just have the 98-mile-an-hour guy and the softball pitcher that can just blow it by everybody. That's a little less stressful. Those don't come around very often. So it's a stressful spot for a lot of people involved, and it's a stressful sport anyway for a lot of folks anyhow. All right, let's do this. We're going to take a break. We'll come back. No gate fees presented by Nimnick Buick GMC, Republic Services, Baker Sports, and Perfect Rack Billiards. We'll have our Perfect Rack Billiards Coach of the Week. We also have our Committed to the Uncommitted presented by Nimnick Buick GMC. We catch up with three of the big-time coaches in the area as we head into the postseason. Final week of the regular season, high school baseball. Another week to go before we get softball postseasons going. Of course, districts, and then into regionals who will qualify. And here we go, road to a state championship. We'll see if we've got any. We certainly have candidates. We know that this year. As even in baseball, we have 4 of the top 14 teams in the state right here in Northeast Florida, and a bunch more in the top 50. We've got the 6th-ranked team in the state in softball in Baker County, and they were the only undefeated team, I think, in the state. I got to check on that. And they actually were number 1 in the state a couple weeks ago. They dropped down to 6 somehow. But we'll have our power polls coming up, too. It's no gate fees here on the Action Sports Jax 24/7 network.
Nimnick is synonymous with Jacksonville, and now in 2026, Nimnick is celebrating 85 years of partnerships with you. Longevity equals trust, and you want a car dealership you can trust. Thousands of vehicles sold, generations of families, all part of the Nimnick family of dealerships. My family has been part of the Nimnick family for almost 20 of those 85 years, and I've told you about all the different vehicles that we've purchased. But it's not about the cars and the trucks. It's about the service and also the Nimnick relationships that expand all around the community.
Congratulations to Jordan Matthews, our Committed to the Uncommitted Player of the Year.
Nobody but Nimnick. They are there for you and your causes, your car buying experience, and they are there for you 24 hours a day at NimnickBuickGMC.com. Experience professional grade with big inventory and even bigger savings. And Jacksonville's only Car Bravo certified dealership. Nobody but Nimnick for 85 years. This milestone belongs to you, Jacksonville.
Empower a future, inspire a dream. It's a bold but simple mission for the Jacksonville Police Athletic League known as Jax PAL. Help the next generation of kids in Jacksonville shape a brighter future. Their after-school programs, teenage leadership programs. There's community outreach.
It's been just an awesome opportunity to be out here with my colleagues and do something good for the community. It's really been an interesting opportunity to just see everybody work together in a way that we don't normally in the office.
And there's sports. There are also ways you can help the next generation with a donation of any kind. Just visit jaxpal.org to get more information. Empower a future, inspire a dream with Jax Pal.
Hey guys, we got a new player today. I hear he's pretty good.
Heard this guy played in the NFL.
I think he's an MMA fighter.
I've actually been on his show, the Brent and Austin show.
Football and fighting, that's the easy part. Let's see if I still have it on the ice. What the heck, man? Who is this guy? He's saving everything.
Leave the hockey to the pros, man.
It's hockey season. Come on out and see the Icemen play. Get your tickets at JacksonvilleIcemen.com.
We've been telling you about the Action Sports Jax 24/7 network for over a year now. How to find it, what to see. Simply put, it's TV online. Local sports content all day, every day. Just like this.
Did you always want to make history? Like, think that big, or just say, hey, I want to play in the NFL?
I always say I want to play in the NFL.
That's it. Back to our left side. Takes a shot. And into the back of the net.
Oh, what a pass.
Oh, my goodness.
What a pass.
Say he doesn't make a tackle, you still feel like his presence is felt in every single play.
I did have a sense that they wanted to be bold, that they wanted to make a splash.
It's content you won't find on TV. Find it on actionsportsjax.com and just sit back and watch local sports all day on the Action Sports Jax 24/7 network.
Most of us know how to throw. but you need to know what to throw. I'm not talking about footballs, baseballs, softballs. We're talking about those items you need to recycle. Republic Services explains it easy. Recycling simplified. 1. Know what to throw. When in doubt, throw it out. 2. Empty, clean, and dry those materials. It takes an extra minute, but it makes a big difference. And 3. Don't bag it. This makes the recycling process faster and more efficient. This is a look at the Republic Services North Florida Recycling Center. You can make this process even more efficient. By utilizing those 3 steps, Republic Services can help you become a better recycler in your home. Learn more at recyclingsimplified.com.
This is a special presentation on the Action Sports Jax 24/7 network.
Dykes for the Derby. Flip. It's over.
That was a lot of fun. We had the home run derby, and Landon Dykes from North Dakota wins it in dramatic fashion. He had 2 more outs to go in the final round, and that young man on the right was in the lead. And a great job by Olivia Tassily and Jason Hamby and Stuart Weber and D.R. Gilliana for getting all the shots, of course. And then Dan Hicken and Noah Schlicksup on the call. We had a lot of fun. You can go back and watch it. Dramatic finish from the Bowles School with Home Run Derby, the Florida-Georgia Showdown going on this week. We had a chance to catch up with the Jacksonville coaches about a bunch of different topics.
It's interesting. It feels like something you might put in the middle of your season. It's coming at the end of your season, but do you like that to get you guys ready to go for this time of year?
No, absolutely. I think everybody's kind of in playoff mode, and so like last week was a really tough week for us of local teams that are top in the area. This week to play 3 of the top teams in Georgia gets you ready for 3-game series in the regionals.
How you guys looking? How do you feel? I mean, you guys are so used to this. You know kind of what it feels like this time of year. I mean, what do you feel about this team that you have?
I like our team. I mean, 2 weeks ago we had 4 games. We won all 4, but we had 3 one-run games, and we won all of them. This past week we had 3 games. We lost 2 one-run games, got walked off in the 7th inning. And those things as coaches, that helps you. You know, that guys start to listen a little bit more in practice. So I like our team. It's not going to be easy. We've got everybody gunning for us when you've gone to 4 of the last 5 state championship games. But I like our guys.
Do you like the format where we settled in? Obviously, we had best of 3. Now it's a quarterfinal single into the best of 3. How do you feel about where we are in the state of Florida?
I don't think it's perfect. I mean, I prefer the Georgia system all the way through. I think the round 1, I still think shouldn't be 1 game. I mean, I do think an 8 seed can have a guy. You can just have a bad day. I mean, my 22 team, you were there. We lost that game, and I think we win the next 9 games. So I like it, but I don't think it's perfect.
How do you set up with it?
What's that?
How do you set up with it? Do you like after Braden? Can you get it done on the mound?
Yeah, no, I think pitching has been our strength. I mean, so we've got Ethan Bissell, Gavin Coffey, and Madden Williams. We've got 4 starters because we play a lot. We went over and played South Walton. That was 4 games in 3 days. We played 4 games last week. We've done that a few times. Like what we do is we test our staff to win 3-game series.
Well, we're here with Coach Boz, and hey. Home run derby, everybody talks about the hitters. It's all about the guy throwing the baseball. How'd you do out there?
It didn't work out so well today. I thought I was throwing pretty good. This wind knocks it down, though, so it's tough today.
Yeah, it's a cool event, though, right? Get some of the best in Georgia and obviously some of the best in Jacksonville. A lot of really good baseball players.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. I'm looking forward to the next 3 days. It's going to be fun. Tonight's great, but the competition next 3 days are going to be great.
You're probably looking forward to the next 3 days a little bit more because you guys are playing some good baseball right now.
We are playing pretty good baseball, but these guys are really good, so it'll be a big challenge for us.
Is it cool to be playing this kind of baseball this time of year as we hit the final week of the regular season?
Absolutely. This is what you play for. You know, you play to get better and better and better, and that's kind of what we've done, which is great to see our guys come together. So looking forward to the run.
Why do you think this team has come together? I mean, the folks said this is one of your best coaching jobs of the last decade, but why? What has worked?
Well, I appreciate that, but no, it's the boys. They've really bought in. They're working hard, giving us everything they got, and doing the little things right, which is big in high school baseball, and I'm very proud of the way that they've come on.
A couple other things. This district is incredible, and we all know, we talk about it every year when we get to this stage, this best district in the state of Florida. I mean, what's it like when you got to look at that going into the postseason?
Well, it gets us ready to go for the postseason. I mean, I think we got 6 or 7 of the top, 10 teams in the region right now, and only 8 of us can move on. So we're right in the middle of it. So, looking forward to it. So it's just represents, North Florida baseball is pretty good.
You've been around this game a long time. What do you think about the format that we're currently in the postseason?
They keep changing it on us, but, I like the 2 out of 3 the whole way through. That way the better team will move on, and hopefully we'll get back to that.
Yeah, one last one. Looks like all the facility changes came out really well.
Yeah, it's turned out great. It's a beautiful site. I love our facility, and looking forward to being here the next couple of years, so watching it continue to grow.
We're hanging out here with Zach Osbeck, Bishop Snyder, head baseball coach, and I just want to get a comment about this. This is a great event this week, right? I mean, a home run derby. We wish the wind would blow the other way, but other than that, pretty cool.
This is a really cool event that Baker's put on for all the area teams and the teams coming in from Georgia. We're really, really excited and grateful, honestly, to be invited to an event like this.
Yeah.
I haven't always had those home run hitters that we have right now, so it's cool to be invited.
Yeah, you got some big guys, no doubt about it. How much do you like your team going into this time of year? Obviously, final week of the regular season. You guys been one of the best in the state all year.
Yeah, I love our team. They've done such a great job from the first game. Last couple of weeks, we've had to battle through some adversity and try to find some ways to win some tough games. And quite honestly, we've had such a difficult schedule that, finding ways to win can be tough this time of year. So they're hoping to get back on the right track with this week going into district play next year.
You know that you build the schedule, you want to test this guy, you had a good group.
100%.
But is there a balance there between beating them up too much a little bit, and how do you think that's played out? Again, you got another tough week ahead.
Yeah, maybe I might be second guessing myself, but going into this was all about making the toughest schedule in the entire state of Florida, and I tried, I really did, and I put it to these guys, and they have answered the bell every time we've stepped on the field. So really excited about the opportunity we have this week against a great Georgia lineup.
You've had a lot of good teams, a lot of good players. Do you feel like this is the best team that you've had?
1 through 15, no doubt in my mind. And from a pitching staff, guys that are going to get the ball night in and night out, really can just go out and dominate a game and give us a chance to put up some runs and find ways to win tough ones.
Well, it's a good thing you put a good schedule together, because when you get into the postseason, you've got all of them. From Trinity to Bowles, Episcopal, you guys, I mean, it just doesn't end, right? It's unbelievable, this district, probably the best in the state of Florida.
No doubt. 1 through 5 with Bowles and Episcopal and Providence, Trinity Christian, and us, of course, has got to be the toughest district in the entire state. And so knowing that, putting a schedule together, going into a great South Walton tournament, going up into Georgia earlier in the year to give our guys really an opportunity to kind of see what that playoff atmosphere would be like. Because once we get into district time, it's a go, because those are great teams that we got to face.
What do you think about the playoff format and where we're at? They tweaked it a little bit with that quarterfinal game in this year, then to the best of 3. How do you feel about it?
Honestly, I wasn't a big fan of the best 2 out of 3 going into last year.
Really?
I thought it was a grind, going from quarterfinals, playing 2 out of 3 quarterfinals all the way through to get to the state championship. However, going into it now, you look back and go, man, I really like that, because especially with the teams that we have in our region, that you can get one plus arm in that first game of the quarterfinals and you can be out real quick. So it's going to be quite interesting to see what happens that quarterfinal round.
One last one for you. You've got to feel pretty good, right, the way you're assembled, if you can get to the best of 3, because that's all about depth of pitching at that point.
No doubt. We have two plus guys. Our front guys are with Bochelle and Cole Dennis, always going to give us a chance to go out. And so, but honestly, after that, getting to a third game, we would certainly welcome a third game with the depth of our pitching staff. We got some really good guys down the line.
Hey, good luck the rest of this weekend in the postseason.
Appreciate you guys and all the coverage.
You bet. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hey, we want to let you know about our coach of the week, and this week it's B.B. Osteen, the Baldwin Indians, getting a few wins last week in the Gateway Conference and getting a Gateway Conference championship for the first time ever. Baldwin has a really good baseball program. Last few years, they've been super competitive, knocked off some big teams. They beat Bowles this year 11-1, I think the game was, in fact, and now Bowles is really hot and on fire. But they've challenged themselves with tough schedules the last couple of years, got some good players. And Turner Ferrer, by the way, hit 3 home runs last week for Baldwin. He's an FSCJ commit. So that was a huge win for them to knock off Sandalwood in the Gateway Championship game. A little bit on Coach Osteen, who I really don't know well, but inquired a little bit about him. He went to Eagles View, is where he played baseball. I think a lot of people don't know this, but when I first got to town, I got to town in 2008, so probably the first handful of years or so, Eagles View, very good in baseball.
Oh, yeah.
Like, it was a name you heard a lot about in baseball.
A lot of baseball out there. It was a lot of people playing out there.
Absolutely. So he came from that program. He ended up going to UWF, West Florida, who obviously now is going to the Sun out there in West Florida. He went to, and he injured his arm, so he didn't play baseball in college. Graduated from Stetson with a law degree. What the heck are you doing coaching high school baseball?
Wow. Wanted to have a life.
Assistant head coach at Baldwin Oakleaf before taking over at Baldwin. And back to the Eagles View days, I got this. He was 3A District Pitcher of the Year, and in 2013 went 6-0. And that year, district champ over Providence. I'll tell you a little bit about Eagles View's program.
Yeah.
Back then, he was also the FACA 3A Coach of the Year last year. So congrats to Coach B.B. Osteen from the Baldwin Indians, and continued success for the rest of this week and the rest of the year in districts coming up. But a big Gateway Conference Championship for Baldwin. First time they have ever done that. So that is pretty cool stuff for Coach Osteen and the Baldwin Indians. All right, Brent Martineau and Jason Hamby. We continue to get going here on no gate fees, and Committed to the Uncommitted is up next. And Brooke Sawyer, she's a junior. Once again, our Committed program goes to juniors and seniors this time of year, especially as we get later in the year. We'll probably see more juniors that we try to highlight because the seniors likely have a home or have decided where to go to school and maybe say, okay, maybe I'm not going to play. But we also find that plenty of softballers and baseballers takes until sometimes May, and even into the summer if they really want to play, to find a home. So don't give up on it just yet. This is Brooke Sawyer. She's from Yulee High School. She's a junior, and I think she'll get some attention. She's a tough out, by the way, is what I understand. 1 strikeout in 42 at-bats. I started to do this. She only struck out 14 times in her high school career, and she's played a lot of ball in the last few years. So very good stuff. Hitting .485 on the season. She started fast. She continues to hit the ball really well, and she leads in average on base percentage, slugging. I think she's got 1 home run. I saw 7 doubles. So Brooke Sawyer really playing well for the Yulee Hornets, and I think I got something in from Coach on her. Let me just double check, make sure I get this. Yeah, I want to. This is from Coach Hicken up there at Yulee, not our Hicken, different Hicken. Brooklyn is an excellent player in every aspect of the game, currently leading the team in batting average, runs, hits, RBIs, doubles, almost every category. She also has a .913 fielding percentage at first base. Most important aspect is her leadership on the field, getting players in position, great field awareness as well. So, again, she's I wouldn't say early in the process, but has time in the process. Probably be a big summer ahead on the travel ball circuit, and then have a big senior year, and we'll see where Brooke Sawyer lands. But college coaches, check it out. Always looking for a tough out at the plate, and I like that. 1 strikeout, 42 at-bats. I think that's a big number. Put the ball in play and make something happen is a good recipe at almost any level. All right, we're going to take a timeout. When we come back, we've got our Power Polls. It's No Gate Fees presented by Nimnick Buick GMC, Baker Sports Republic Services, Perfect Rack Billiards. And once again, a shout-out to Perfect Rack Billiards with our Coach of the Week, and get a little gift card to B.B. Osteen and the Baldwin Indians. We'll be right back. Baker Sports. It's a hometown business filled with hometown people trying to make you feel right at home.
Chris Conley, Jacksonville University.
Walker Wright, class of 2018, West Nassau High School.
Michael Young, Fletcher High School.
Baker Sports started in a grassroots way and now outfits much of the Southeast.
Samuel Coffrin, Paxton School for Advanced Studies.
High school sports, travel sports, youth sports of all kinds. They are a one-stop shop carrying Nike, Adidas, Under Armour brands, and more.
Vincent Caldes, Oakleaf High School.
Tony Mazzio, Stanwood High School, class of 2002.
Whether it's sports teams on the field or it's your team in the workplace, like our Action Sports Jacks team, and community events like the Dream 18 Golf Tournament, and many others.
Colt Tilly, Hilliard High School.
Reagan Webb, Eagles View Academy.
Look good, feel good, play good with Baker Sports. Custom sports apparel since 1997. Shop with the hometown team at bakersport.com.
I'm I'm Action Sports Jack's Stuart Weber. Join me and the Crohn's and Colitis Foundation for Jacksonville Take Steps at Memorial Park April 18th. This event is dedicated to finding cures and raising awareness for digestive diseases. Register now at actionnewsjax.com.
Weather, traffic, and important local news in the morning. Get it here.
Here or here.
We're available wherever you are, so you're prepared for the day ahead.
Action News Jax this morning, streaming on Action News Jax now.
No. I'm in my own head.
What the heck are you talking about?
I think I got away with something that I shouldn't have. See that brand new Hyundai Santa Fe?
Yeah.
I only paid.
Finish that bucket on your own. Practice makes perfect.
Enjoy your new car.
Yeah, you too. Bye-bye.
Feels so right, it almost feels wrong. The Hyundai Getaway Sales Event.
Get a Hyundai Elantra or Sonata with 0.99% APR or up to $2,500 bonus cash. Or lease an Elantra for $159 a month. Hurry in.
Choose your own adventure. It's not just a saying, but a way of life here at Cycles of Jacksonville. And whether it's 2 wheels or 4 wheels, at Cycles of Jacksonville, a great adventure awaits. With brands like Honda, Vespa, Segway, and Triumph, Cycles of Jacksonville has you covered with their inventory featuring a 60,000 square foot building. If 4 wheels is more your thing, check out the largest selection of Honda Talons in the entire county. No matter what you're looking for, Cycles of Jacksonville is going to have the selection you need, all with great financing and rebates. Plus, if you're active duty military, Cycles of Jacksonville will offer you 0% financing along with great discounts for military and first responders. And when you want to get off the road and set sail, Cycles of Jacksonville has you covered with everything you need to get on the water. So if you're ready for a great adventure, let Cycles of Jacksonville be your guide. Located off Atlantic Boulevard or check out their website at cyclesofjacksonville.com.
People helping people. It's at the core of what Alive Credit Union is all about, and it's been that way for over 70 years. From the start in 1954 to today, the mission remains to inspire financial wellness and give you a financially fit lifestyle. Alive Credit Union and its employees are committed to not only serving their valued members, but also our community here in Northeast Florida. I had a chance to see that commitment firsthand as Alive partnered with our Action Sports Jax 24/7 team to bring you Armada men's and women's soccer broadcasts. Inside the 18, it is a shot, and it's a goal! Chloe Chivers! And that connection to the community continues with Alive Credit Union's support of the Police Athletic League of Jacksonville. Alive Credit Union's commitment to our community also involves serving the financial needs of all first responders through the recent merger partnership with City and Police Federal Credit Union. Join the community and become a member of Alive Credit Union today. Find out the many ways you can be inspired in financial wellness at alivecu.coop.
Welcome inside the Armor Guard exterior and gutter helmet showroom. There's a lot going on, like glass exteriors, replacement windows, and down there we have the retractable screens and awnings, plus hurricane protection. Let's talk more about those gutters, and to do that, we bring in Kevin. He's the owner, he's the expert. Why Gutter Helmet?
Well, Gutter Helmet's truly the only maintenance-free product. It lets the trash and debris go on the ground, the water wraps around and goes inside. Unlike filters, they sit on top of the gutters, and the trash and debris build up on top of filters, which requires maintenance. With Gutter Helmet, we're going to keep you off the ladder, the most dangerous thing in your garage. With Gutter Helmet, you'll never clean your gutters again. So get off the ladder and put on the helmet. Gutter Helmet.
Get a free estimate at gutterhelmetofnorthflorida.com. You can also call 904-762-7779 or visit the showroom on St. John's Bluff Road in Jacksonville.
This is a special presentation on the Action Sports Jax 24/7 network.
Hi, welcome back into No Gate Fees, presented by Nimnik Buick GMC, Baker Sports Republic Services, Perfect Rack Billiards. Appreciate all our partnerships. Continue to grow it. If you want to be a part of the show, highlight high school baseball and softball, let us know. Going into next year, we've got a lot of high school activity on the Action Sports Jax 24/7 network, so we'd love to grow it. In fact, we'd love to grow our scholarship program, too, so the more the merrier. But we appreciate the folks that have joined in and helped support this show on the network, which really helps support high school baseball and softball in the area and all the different high school sports that we get to cover. Brent Martineau, Jason Hamby. Earlier in the show, we had a few coaches on from some of the premier programs in the area with the Florida-Georgia showdown. We did Committed to the Uncommitted. We did Coach of the Week. We also had a lot of conversation about pitching and even a bit of conversation about the playoffs and the format, as this is the final week of the regular season in high school baseball. I know
need that rain to hold off tomorrow, please.
Well, not just then. Some teams rained out yesterday. Some teams got to play, which actually surprised me, which is good for the Florida-Georgia showdown in particular. And we'll get to that in just a moment, some of the results. But tonight, unfortunately, that rain did in. Our buddies Barnesy and Smitty were supposed to play with First Coast and Beachside, and that game has now been postponed or canceled, unfortunately, due to field conditions up there at First Coast High School. So would have been good for the bragging rights and at least the chat if those guys had played.
At least Twitter.
And we do give them a shout-out because if we have to bounce some things off people in the area, they're always good and have a good pulse of what's going on the baseball side of things. And we appreciate all the folks that help us out behind the scenes to keep an eye on what's going on in baseball and softball. All right, so let's get to our power polls. We end the show with this each and every week. Where's Home Show has our overall power poll, just to let you know. So we combine public schools and private schools in baseball for our overall one. And so that gets updated on the weekend. And so look forward to that show on Sunday at 6 o'clock. It's out there on Instagram and everywhere else right now, too. But here's our public school power poll. And we got the Barracudas in it.
There you go.
The Creekside Knights continue to – I looked this up this morning. I was interested because Creekside's now 20-4. They beat Bishop Kenny last night. They're 2-0. 2-0 was the final. And I was like, how many – Creekside has a chance to, I think they play tonight, maybe it's tomorrow, against Lincoln. They have a chance to go 21-4 in the regular season. I was like, can't imagine that's happened too many times.
I mean,
because they always play a tough schedule, right? 20-win mark in the regular season.
That's impressive.
Is really impressive in high school baseball. Creekside, I think, they had a tough schedule, one of the toughest schedules in the state, and look where they're at, 21-4 potential. I looked back and I found 2013, I think, with Luke Maribel, they went 30-5 that season. And to be honest with you, I have no idea how they went 30-5. I don't know how they got to 35 games. So I think this is the most wins in the regular season for Creekside since then, I believe. But I got to dig into that more and be like, I don't understand how they played that many games. So it was obviously a different format at that time.
They're probably going to be the only team in the area that hits 20 wins.
Are they?
I mean,
Trinity has 6 losses because they went, obviously, they have tough schedule. Snyder has one of the toughest schedules.
Snyder has 16. Trinity has 18.
Okay.
Nobody's got more than 18. So depending on how many.
It's impressive. And Creekside's 7th-ranked team in the state.
Right.
You know, and they've earned that.
100%.
Like, they're really good. They've been outstanding. Fernandina Beach right there. Bartram has come on, and then I think Bartram lost last night. They did to Tokoi. So, I mean, we kind of did this yesterday, but Bartram's really been playing good ball again. Went through a mid-season slump, lost to Creekside a couple of times, and that started like a 5-game losing streak or 5 out of 6. They've really bounced back and played good ball at the right time of year. So, Fitzy's got them going. Sandalwood has been right there. I bumped them down a notch because they've had, they had to go to extra innings last week in the Gateway, then lost to Baldwin in the championship game. Beachside right there been playing good ball down the stretch of the season. And again, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. If you wanted to put them all in a pile, really, I think you could put a lot of these teams in a pile. Creekside is a no-brainer, and everybody else could probably go in a pile from the public school standpoint and have a little bit of a battle back and forth. And I like that. This year we've had a lot of different teams in our power polls, and I like that, to be able to have different ebbs and flows of the season. It has not been pure dominance. And speaking of such, the same goes for our private school power poll.
A lot of different teams.
A lot of different teams. Now, the 3 at the top have been there throughout. Bowles is really playing good baseball. And you heard me earlier with him, with Coach Boz. I think that's one of his best coaching jobs that he's done over there. And so we'll see if they can keep it going. Episcopal doing a good job getting wins. We've had St. Joe's is right around there. Providence is in the mix. I think if you go state rankings-wise, Providence is ahead of Episcopal. I thought Episcopal was playing a little bit better overall in their last, 6-7 games, at least from what I can tell. So we put Episcopal in there in the 5 spot. One thought, Trinity Christian won last night over, did they play Clay? I can't remember if they played Clay or not, but they won. Bishop Snyder beat North Oconee. Really good win. North Oconee's number one team in the state of Georgia. St. John's Country Day did lose to North Gwinnett 4-2. Bowles beat Parkview last night.
And Klein threw that game as well. Same guy beat Parkview as beat St. John's.
So there you go. I mean, they're
up-and-coming pitchers.
They're going to all play each other tonight and tomorrow as well in that Florida-Georgia showdown. All right, before we get out of here, final week of the regular season again in baseball, and then let's hit softball real quick. And if we do that, we see Baker County, no doubt the best team in the area. No doubt they're still undefeated. Columbia, really strong year. Top 15 right now in the state for the Columbia Tigers. I had Creekside last week into the 3-hole. That hasn't changed for me. We haven't had a ton of games since last week. Baldwin at 4 and Episcopal at 5. This actually might not have changed, or maybe I put Episcopal in over Paxson. Episcopal beat Paxson. But just like the conversation last week, there are a bunch of teams in this mix from like 3, 4, 5, all the way to 10. I think right now Baker County and Columbia, a little separation between everybody else. Creekside, those really played well, and these other teams put West Nassau in the mix, the Paxsons of the world in the mix, and more right there. Tokoi Creek is a top 50 team in the state in softball right now with their rankings, so there's a lot to like in the softball world, and they've got another week of their regular season coming up. So hope everybody gets a chance to play. Hopefully the rain stays away. That's going to do it for another edition of No Gate Fees, presented by Nimnick Buick GMC, Baker Sports, Republic Services, and Perfect Rack Billiards. Play well onto the postseason in baseball next week. So we'll do it again next Wednesday on the Action Sports Jax 24.